Right, morning everyone. So today, another lovely morning, isn't it? I thought we'd talk about knees, okay? Now, we have spoken about the two main running knee injuries, lateral knee pain, so where your IT band rubs, and patellofemoral pain, so pain behind the kneecap and into the patellar tendon. So if you have got any issues in those, have a look back at the previous vlogs. But today, I wanted to talk about general knee pain. I think there's a couple of things really. Well, the first thing to say is running isn't going to cause arthritis of the knee. Okay, running shouldn't make shouldn't cause wear and tear in your knee. However, unless you've had a predisposing injury. Okay, so if I take my knee as an example, my left knee, I did my ACL, anterior cruciate ligament skiing, had reconstruction surgery and had some of my meniscus taken out, and they used some of my hamstrings. So I have now got a knee that's not quite as strong as my other knee. Okay, it's not quite got the cushioning of the other knee, so it's what I would call a bit more vulnerable to developing a bit of wear and tear. Now, I can help that by keeping it as strong as I possibly can. So, a bit of a theme going on in all these talks. There are lots of things you can do at home that are maintenance. Basically, the stronger you get your muscles, the more they will protect the joints. And that works for, any area of the body. So if you are prone to a little bit of arthritis, and your knees and your muscles are really weak, the stronger you get your muscles, the more they will protect the joints. If your muscles are weak, there will be lots more load going through the joints, and wear will become exasperated and can happen quicker. The other thing that I want you to understand is if you lose the range of motion in a joint, you lose the ability of that joint to feed itself. So if we let's take the sort of knee joint for an example. If you haven't got your full bend and your full straighten, then there are areas of that knee joint where the synovial fluid won't get squeezed into the articular cartilage, so it won't get fed. Okay, so actually it's really, really important to keep your full range of movement in your joints. So mobility in joints is also really important. And a normal working joint should have full mobility and full strength, okay? And if it hasn't got those things, you've got to say why. Is it injured? And what can I do about it? And can I go back to strengthening it? So these are the things that I want to sort of talk about really. I just want to just remind anybody, A, that's had knee surgery, or B, that might have a little bit of wear and tear in the knee. Classically, you get lots of sort of people that played football, had a few meniscal twinges, a few meniscus injuries, and that knee's not quite as good, and they find that's the knee that sort of gives them a bit more problems when they're running. It's not necessarily the running that's caused it. The knee might not be strong enough to cope with the running, but it was already damaged before you started running. So that's what I want to sort of talk about a bit today, really. This sort of post that knees that have had surgery, or knees that have got a little bit of damage and need a little bit of help. And I think that the one thing I've accepted is I've got to do my exercises all the time, right? So I think I've had this virus, and as I've said in quite a few of my blogs, I've lost all my strength. And of course you go back to running, it's like, oh, that knee's aching a bit. Why is it aching a bit? Oh, well, because I've had a virus, all my muscles have weakened and everything's gone, rubbish. So I've had to go back to all my exercises again. I'm normally quite good, and I do them. I love the bossy ball. And for me, I can go, I can go straight on there and do my one leg dips and things, but I want to sort of just show you a bit of a program that you can go through. And it's back to the what do we do, how do we load the knees, and you've got to just remember it's all about the fundamentals. If you've got your basics, if you've got your foundations, then you can do any exercises. Okay, so there's no point in me giving you 20 really hard exercises if you can't do the basics. And I think that's what we keep going back to is, you can find all the exercises you want. However, if you haven't got your bread and butter, you haven't got your foundations, you'll cheat and you'll do them too hard. So I really, really want you to get this concept that while you're off, look after your basics, look after your foundations. While you've got the time, get your core strong, get your glutes firing, get your knees stable, get your ankles stable. and just work on all these sort of basic things. Friday we're going to talk about a lot about balance and stability, so I'm not going to talk too much about that today. But so let's have a look at the knees. Oh, I've got my knees out today and they're not pretty, I'm very sorry. But anyway, there we go. Right, so the first thing is when you're sitting, okay, can you straighten your legs and lift your heels? Okay, so can you do that? It's a very, very basic exercise, and are they both the same? Great, they are, mine are okay, doing all right there. So that's quite good, okay? If they're not both the same, then you could just get something like a towel, put it under the knee and say, right, yeah, I can lock that knee out. I've got my quads working nicely, my VMO is working, great, you know, tick box, no problem. Do that one, this is my better leg. So there you go, nice little scar there, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, can do that. So that's your first basic exercise. If you can't do that, you know, you haven't got the end of range quad, you just need to stretch it out a bit. And, you know, I do know lots of people who've had knee surgery, so just go back and think, right, put the towel under the foot. Can we see that? Sorry, I will just come further this way. Just make sure, getting used to this tripod. Okay, put the towel under the foot and then push your knee down and then just let it hang. And that will just give you that end of range extension. And it's really, really important that you get that end of range extension. Okay, and just hold it there. And that's your first exercise, okay? Have you got control of your leg? Can you lift it up and down? Yeah? Great. Okay, I can do that. Good. You know, so we're just making sure these quads are working as hard as they can. And then we can go to a sort of a, you know, an easier exercise. Can we just start going up and down? You know, can we do that? Have we got the control to sit to stand without our hands? You know, should be able to do that, shouldn't you? You know. Okay, so we've done our sort of basic, very, very basic. So, with my lovely quads. Okay, gravity I'm sure doesn't do me any favours. Right, so then it's like, okay, back to the old basic classic, you know, love this exercise, but it tells a story. Can you stand on one leg and can you control really slowly that first 30 degrees of extension? If you can't control your knee. What's going to be happening when you're walking and running? So it's really, really important that you're able to control that, okay? I think this is probably one of the most important exercises you can do. We've all got to be able to stand on one leg. We don't want the pelvis drifting over. We want the knee over the second toe. And we want to just get that range, okay? And then, you know, can we do some squats? Yeah? Good basic strength exercise, okay? You can hold a weight. You can put your hands on a chair if you need a little bit of help to start with. But obviously, you know, some people are going to have had knee surgery and some people are going to have not been able to have physio. So, you know, let them see this video. It might help them a little bit. Okay, so we've done our squats, we've done our you know, one leg dips. So can we just do some simple calf raises? Yeah? Okay, just to get all the muscles around that knee strong again. Okay, can you do it on one leg? Okay, these are all supporting muscles of the knee. Okay, and then can we do some lunges? Yeah. Okay, we'll do those sideways. And if it's a little bit grungy and a bit sore, just do a small lunge to start with and think, right, yeah, okay, I can start with that. And then what you'll probably find is the next couple of times down the line, you're going a bit further. Yeah, so before you know it, you've got a nice little circuit there. And then you can do some step ups, you know, and if you want to do a bit of cardiovascular work at home, right, most people have got stairs. Second step up and down, 20 step ups, 20 squats, 20 step ups, okay, 20 lunges, okay, 20 step ups, okay, 21 leg dips, 20 step ups, okay, 20 calf raises. You know, you got the picture. It's very, very easy to suddenly make your knee rehab into a circuit. I'm puffing just from Deming, so you know, get some work into it. Get that work going with those knees. Okay, so right, so we can do that. We've done our basics. You can do all sorts of fun things. You can get on the Bosu ball. You can do the same exercises on the Bosu ball, but really get the control of that terminal extension. That's key. and get that full range of movement, okay? So we haven't really talked about that a little bit, but if you haven't got that, I haven't got a slippy floor here, but you could put a towel under your foot, okay, and just slide it up and down and just hold it. You could go onto your front, okay. A nice way of actually getting a little bit of range is just start doing a little bit of kicking, okay. It's actually quite a nice exercise just to lubricate those knees, okay. You can get the foam roller onto your quads. It's not in here, sorry. Which, you know, we've done that quite a lot now. You just lie on the foam roller like this and just up and down on the quads, okay. So, you know, there's lots of ways that you can sort of get that range of movement. Sitting on a chair and just swinging it forwards and backwards is another nice one. So once we've got our basic circuit, how do we make it a bit harder? Okay, increase the number of reps, easy. Add a weight, yeah. Add, you know, if you haven't got any weights, it doesn't matter. Most people have got a rucksack. Most people have got bottles of water or tins of beans. Stick some things in your rucksack, put that on your back, and then do your step ups, your calf raises and your squats. Suddenly it will be much, much harder. Okay, so we've got our increase the number of reps, and then we add a weight. So when we add the weight, it's harder, so we decrease the number of reps again. So that's our basic circuit. Start off, you aim for 3 lots of 20, and you know, when you decrease it, you add a weight. You know, you can do 3 lots of 12 to 15, depending on how heavy the weight is. I've seen people lifting dogs. You can put the child on your back. You know, depending on how strong you are, stick your partner on your back. You know, there's loads of different ways to do things. You know, there is no limitation. I think the thing is, everything I'm giving you at the moment, you can do at home. You don't need any special equipment. Okay, so once we've got that, what we can add in, you know, if you've got a static bike, you can add in some cycling. Cycling is very good for the knees. There's no, you know, no real stress, no weight bearing, but you can get a nice range of movement. And if you're struggling with that sort of end of range of movement, put your seat up a bit, and you can just spend 10 minutes just going forwards and backwards on the bike. You don't have to go all the way around to start with, and you'll find each time you go on it, you'll gradually be able to get a little bit further. So that's another nice one. And then, you know, get out and start walking. If you want to sort of get back to running, walking is the first step. And then just start adding in a little bit of walk jog, you know, just add in a minute of running, and then and just build it up that way. But I think the real thing that I want to talk about is anybody that's got a previous knee injury needs to keep that knee strong. Okay, you need to go back to these fundamental basics. You know, you can progress that further then once it's, you know, if you've got a knee that, I was talking to somebody yesterday who, a bit like me, old ACL, not really done much, started running and it started to ache. You know, you bring in all those fundamentals, you get onto the bossy ball, and then you start doing some jumping. You start doing some 2-foot jumping. You know, you can do it in a square like we've got here, forwards, backwards, side to side, and then diagonals. If you can see that. Okay, get a bit of masking tape, put it on the ground. Whoa, don't fall off. And you know, you can do your jumps. So 2 foot. Come on, let's see. I'm going to be puffing again. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, okay. So you can get a bit of coordination going. There you go. Not too bad. And obviously, guess what we do next? Let's put that back a bit. Okay, right. So this is my bad leg. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to hop with it. You know, and what I would suggest is you do 10 of each. Side to side, forwards, backwards, and diagonal, okay? And if you can do that, great. Then go outside and think, right, can I hop distances? Can I jump distances? Because if you want to play hockey, if you want to run, if you want to do any sport, got me all puffed now, you need to do some plyometric loading. You need to be able to cope with that explosiveness, okay? Can you hop horizontally? You know, and just try all these things. But I think that's really, you know, what you've got to think about is, how do I look after that knee long term? And hopefully I've given you the basics of that. Right, I'm going to sign off now because I'm puffed. See you tomorrow.